and we getting blessed each and every time that you guys tune in. Being authentic to yourself is therapeutic to the soul. You know what I mean? Doing what you love to do, being who you are, is therapeutic to your soul. If you wake up, you rise up in the rising, and you put on this persona, this mask, all day, how can you be happy? How can your soul be happy if you're ignoring your soul all day? For days.
Right. Because your soul is authentic.
I'm chilling, and sun gazing, and I'm facing, dude on wall.
What is good? We is back with Venus Sublime.
And yo.
For the first Divine Feminine to come on. And, you know, the platform is happy to hear from someone like Divine Feminine, because what we need nowadays is more Divine Feminine speaking up.
Yes.
We need more of that Divine Feminine energy, that sacred energy. So just tell me a brief overview about yourself.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you so much for having me and hosting this sacred space for us to collaborate in the most highest high vibrational spirits. My name is Venus Sublime, and ncert atune, and I'm all about unity consciousness. So a lot of drama, right? And there's a lot of like toxic content that's out there on the web, and it's cycling. So I feel like the divine summoned me to be able to restore harmony and balance, and to just post mental wellness images, things that feeds our spirits and our minds, our inquisitive minds. So then that way we're not bored and just consuming trash, right? We're able to actually be stimulated at the highest degree capacity, to where we can utilize our energy, our time, and our focus and our presence to do good deeds in this world instead of just being consumers.
You being restored as the Divine Feminine, and you know, the harmony, you restoring harmony. What is harmony to you? What is the definition of harmony?
Harmony for me is peace is involved. Harmony for me is equilibrium, an equanimous living and being. Harmony for me is being in attunement with our true core identity. Harmony for me is unity consciousness, where there's no need to compete. There's no need to try to one-up one another. You know what I mean? There's no need to try to do. We just be. Because our true essence, our true core identity is peace. So harmony to me is coming back to that equilibrium, to that equanimous way of being. And restoring that means that we are able to just participate in our rationality, take the time to observe, and to just be in an objective mindset rather than always subjective, and to also take the time to want to understand each other. Because a lot of us, we get into this victim mentality, and we want others to just understand us. It's all about me. Me. And we get into our unhealthy ego aspect, right? So the ego, there's nothing wrong with the ego. We need the ego to be able to have a balanced, grounded experience here in this earth realm of existence. So ego is very important. So don't get caught up, y'all, in the new age spirituality when they talk a lot about, I need to kill my ego and do the ego death. No, you need your ego.
You need your ego, because your ego creates boundaries. So
exactly.
without an ego, you got no boundaries.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So we need to have our healthy boundaries in place and intact. So, having a healthy relationship with our ego is a goal that all of us should be able to really come into attunement with. And that's what I feel like, the restoration of harmony will come from restoring our relationship with our with our ego. You know what I mean? Restoring our relationship, our awareness with our true core identity. Because then nobody else is going to try to be anybody else or step on anybody else's toes and try to create chaos in certain spaces because they're being who they truly are.
Right. What are some healthy ways to deal with our ego, to be with our ego?
Okay. Well,
Heal our ego.
some healthy ways to be with our ego, to heal our ego, or to come into attunement with our healthy ego would be spending a lot of time in solitude. I talk a lot about spending like a lot of time in solitude to get to know my core identity, my energetic signature, right? We all have an energetic signature.
Right.
So this means that I get to know my energetic signature more than anybody else think that they know my energetic signature, right? So then when they project their subjectivity onto me, I'm able to be like, that doesn't resonate with me because I know I am well acquainted with my core signature, right? So when you come into a greater awareness of your core signature, you are having a clear observation, right, of who you truly are, of you have a greater awareness of your identity, because ego just means I, right? So that means that we have to have a healthy relationship with I. So I must spend a lot of time with I, so I can get to know I can know my needs, my wants, my desires, my personalities, you know what I mean, my pet peeves, what irks me, you know what I mean? So then that way when I connect with you or anybody else, the lines are not crossed. I will know exactly where I stand and I will know exactly where you stand. And then this way I won't project an unhealthy, distorted perception of myself onto you. That's my responsibility, for me to get to know what energies are dwelling and housed in my energetic biosphere. That's my responsibility. That's each and every one of us. Our responsibility is to make sure that we are managing these energies that are dwelling within our biosphere, and not project that onto each other. And what I mean by that is, I mean like, there are a lot of like energies and spirits that are dwelling inside of our biosphere, our energetic bio home. You know what I mean? Our energetic biosphere. So it's like, some people house the energy and spirit of depression. Some people house the energy and spirit of joy. You know what I mean? Some people house the energetic and spirit of, you know, just fun and happiness. All these different type of energies. Those are just some examples of what dwells in your energetic biosphere. And if you're not aware of it, then you can have a distorted perception of who you are because of it. Then you start to identify yourself with these energies and spirits, and they don't even belong to you. Some of these things you picked up and you accumulated into your biosphere when you were traveling, you know, from adolescence into adulthood. From your traumas, you know what I mean? All these insecurities, they don't belong to you truly. That's not your true core identity. And that makes you show up into the world differently, nasty, bitter.
So what is our true core identity?
Our true core identity is divinity. You know what I mean? Our true core identity is our unique energetic signature. And that's something that each and every one of us has to sit with, so we can be able to articulate that for ourselves in the way that we show up in this world, right? It's part of our purpose. Our purpose is nothing more but to get to know our true core identity. Because when we get to know our true core identity, our true core signature, right, then I'm going to show up in this world exactly how the divine imprinted me to be so. You know what I mean? And then everything else that I do is going to be a representation of that. So my purpose is not to be a podcaster, you know what I mean? My purpose is not to be a painter or an artist. However, those are byproducts from me being aware of my true core identity, my true core energetic signature.
That's some deep, like, you know, this woman got some information. She got some knowledge. She got some divinity, and she got a lot of divine guidance, a lot. You know, most divine women, they can spit, but the way you spit in is like flowing. You know what I'm saying? You're flowing with it. You know, you coming out with confidence. And even before we started, we was talking about confidence. We was even talking about breathing, and you told me to take a deep breath.
Yes.
And how does deep breathing? I want you to like tell me, how does deep breathing help you?
Deep breathing supplies me.
Okay.
Because prana is our life force energy, right? So if I'm lacking life force energy, then of course I'm gonna show up a little bit unconfident. You know what I mean? I'm lacking breath. I can't be. My focus can't be thoroughly present. All of my presence can't be present. How can it? I'm not utilizing my deeper capacity of my spirit. You know, so prana, our life force energy, deep breathing is so important because your breath can touch the deepest spaces that nobody else can touch you. No one else can touch you at these deepest levels of capacity but your breath. Your breath can do that. So allow your breath to be your best friend. Befriend your breath, and don't forget about your breath when you go out through the day. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people have anxiety. A lot of people get all like frowned up and overly excited and stressed because they're not taking the time to breathe. So then your oxygen can go to your brain and you can think clear and you can come into your equilibrium state of being, which is calm and balance. And from this vantage point, you can be able to view what are all the options for me, what's the best options. But you can't really view the best options to make the best decisions in your life, best choices, if your mind is scattered, your presence is lacking, right? Your breath is weak. So it's so important for us to recognize how important our breath is and to utilize our breath in every moment of the day. And in that way, we are summoning our full presence. And our full presence is a divine gift to each other.
Mm-hmm. Can I share my breath experience?
Yes.
So my breath experience, I do a lot of breathing exercises. I'll even do something like where you...
Yes. Mm-hmm,
which taught to me about Yaki Awakening.
Yes.
It really heals you. It really puts you back in the moment. It just cleanses out your nose, cleanses out your bronchi.
It helps your Shakti energy. It raises your Shakti energy.
Even when you take a deep breath and you do breathing exercises, you literally stimulate your bronchi and your lungs. So you hydrate your lungs and you just stimulate them. You shock your lungs to just prana and power.
Your Shakti energy.
Yeah. And it's just, you just feel everything.
Yes. You feel alive.
You feel more alive. Life force. That's why they say eat foods that have a lot of life force in it. Because if you're eating a lot of dead foods or foods that are packaged, like these packaged chips and all processed foods all day, you're not getting life.
You have a dead charge.
Right, and that's why a lot of people, when they eat a lot of chips, they still hungry.
Yes.
Because you're not eating real food.
You're feeding the parasites. But we need to eat electric,
alkaline.
Yes.
Fruits, vegetables, teas, even the herbs, teas,
roots,
capsules that have live sea moss in it.
Sea moss, that's what's gonna be the next thing.
Black seed oils, all that. So
my favorite.
Ever since I changed my health, my diet.
How's it been for you?
It's been crazy. My skin started glowing. I started to feel like a king. I started to feel alive. I started to just be a true person. When I was eating unhealthy,
a true divine being.
Right. When I eat unhealthy in the past, I felt like a victim. I felt victim to everything. Because when you eat bad, you always feel like you feel bad. When you eat bad, you feel bad.
Yes.
And when you feel bad, we know people who feel bad play victim.
Yes.
Oh, why can't people do this for me? That's all that victim stuff. As soon as I started eating good, I started grabbing things. Instead of just watching, I grabbed it.
Yes.
And my reality came to me. So, yeah.
Because when you eat a certain way, you eat alive foods, it allows you to have a different attitude.
Yeah.
And when you have a different attitude in your life, that attracts to you different opportunities. When you eat, I can observe how certain people, the things that they eat, and I can tell that I can be able to decipher their brain patterns, you know what I mean, like their thinking process.
Right.
Like, okay, well, you I mean, and I'm not harshly judging no one. It's just that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Because when people eat certain things, it's like a certain level of cap of awareness, attentiveness. You know what I mean? A certain level of like your attitude and activation. So that's very important for us to be mindful about the things that we're putting into our divine temples.
Yeah, because also our spirit, like,
Exactly.
you're aware how our spirit is linked to our body, right?
Exactly.
So it's intertwined. So literally, if I had spiritual realm glasses on right now, I would see your soul.
Yes.
And your soul would be literally inside your body. So that means if you're putting hot dogs in your body, you're putting hot dogs in around your soul.
Yeah.
So you don't want hot dogs around your soul. You want vegetables. You want aliveness.
Yeah.
And
Soil, rich soil.
Yeah,
things that would make your soil rich.
We want to stay away from making our bodies like
Grave
a
houses.
graveyard. Yeah,
Exactly.
How did you read my words?
Exactly.
How did you read what I'm about to say? But yeah,
Because we're high vibration. When we are on a high vibration wavelength, then that's what's in the air.
it's in the air, right? You just
Pull
Yeah.
it out of the pull it out the
But-
ethers.
yeah. But those type of things, right? You know, you just feel like your soul wants those type of solar energy,
Yes,
solar electricity.
Yes.
Solar.
Yes.
What is solar energy? Sun. What grows from the sun? Fruits.
Yes.
So that means that your soul wants fruits because it has solar energy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you eat fruits, it makes your solar plexus stronger. Which
Yes.
is pineapples.
Your power, and that's your will. Your power, you know what I mean? Your willpower.
The willpower.
Your will to live. You will have a greater will to live and thrive. If not, you're just going to just be surviving and eating these things that's perpetuating a survival mentality. And you won't be able to reach your higher capacity. You won't be able to really summon your greater dreams and visions because you can't even see them.
Right. I'm a big believer. We do not live to eat. We eat to live.
Yes, we eat to live.
To live. Every food we eat, we want to live longer. We
Yes.
want to live. I didn't come on this planet. Me and you, we didn't come on this planet just to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
I ain't trying to be tired all day. You feel me? I ain't
Yes.
trying to be tired. Like, food
Yes.
makes you slow and tired. Like, no, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
That's part of the old system, though, to keep you in a working cycle.
Tired.
You'll be tired. You'll be
Victim.
tired just enough. You'll have just enough energy so you can be able to, move the cycle along.
Right.
You know what I mean? To work your job, work your shifts, and you go home and continue the same thing. But that's what I was saying. When you eat more livity foods, alive foods, then that gives you, that surges your energy, and it allows you to be able, when you're moving at a higher vibration, there's so much information, there's so much opportunity, there's so many different options of visions that you can be able to see. Your imagination is back activated, is online now. You know what I mean? So you can be able to have all of this information that's available to you, so you can summon that down into this earth realm, into this tangible realm, and live out your birthright, which is abundance. Right? But then we get stuck in those toxic cycles. That's why in certain communities, they only have these fast foods, you know what I mean, that's available. All of these things are strategic to keep us in a self-sabotaging cycle, so we can be able to perpetuate the system, the broken system that keeps us broken inside.
besides eating, what else is therapeutic to the soul?
Yes. Being authentic to yourself is therapeutic to the soul. You know what I mean? Doing what you love to do, being who you are, is therapeutic to your soul. If you wake up, you rise up in the rising, and you put on this persona, this mask, all day, how can you be happy? How can your soul be happy if you're ignoring your soul all day? For days.
Right. Because your
Weeks.
soul is authentic.
Months. Your soul is just authentic isness
Right.
being. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you rise up in the rising and you are honoring your soul, you develop a deep communion and relationship with your soul, and you become an advocate for your soul. Your soul will love you, will give you so much inspiration. You know what I mean? Your soul will communicate back with you. Your soul will give you harmonious experiences, opportunities to experience harmonious situations, abundance interactions, you know what I mean? Resources. So when you love on you, that's why they say have self-love. Self-love goes beyond just rubbing on yourself and pouring smell good things, you know what I mean? But that's part of honoring your authentic being, though, because that sends signals to your soul that you are honoring your divine presence. Just like when you go out into nature, the trees want you to honor them. The trees want you to communicate with the trees and to acknowledge them as well. We all want to be acknowledged. We all want to just be loved, right? And that's part of love, is acknowledgement, is acknowledging the divine essence in all things, in all that is. You know what I mean? So why do we ignore that aspect within ourselves to just acknowledge the outside world? Right? So what's therapeutic to the soul is acknowledging our soul. First, to acknowledge our soul, and to honor our soul. You know what I mean? And to participate in what the soul wants us to acknowledge. If we have gifts and talents and abilities, you know what I mean? Our soul wants us to acknowledge those things and to share them. And when we acknowledge our soul, then we're acknowledging the souls of others, and we are creating a platform of awareness, an awareness template where we all can be able to see that it's so important for us to advocate for our inner beings, for our inner soul, for our souls, you know what I mean? And each one teach one, reach one. Then we are all living in the plane of existence where we're all honoring our inner being, which is our soul.
Another question I wanted to ask is, you told me you're a person of shadow work as well.
Yes.
So what's your favorite way to do shadow work, and what do you recommend to do shadow work?
Okay. I like to look at shadow work as integrating our darkness. So I talk a lot about that, about integrated darkness. So every time I start my podcast or my live streams or any talks, you know, I start off with saying, peace, love, and light, and integrated darkness, y'all. You know what I mean? And so that's summoning the awareness of the importance of integrating our darkness, acknowledging our darkness. A lot of us live our lives and try to hide our darkness or try to hide these shadowy aspects of ourselves that's not too pretty. You know what I mean? We try to present the most perfect, you know what I mean? Persona.
Pretty, right?
Yeah, like, oh, look at me. I'm so divine. You know what I mean? Right. But just know that divinity, there's devils, there's demons, you know what I mean, that are divine as well. So it's so important for us to recognize that, you know, doing shadow work, it requires us to be radically honest with ourselves.
Not to cut you off, what is a divine demon? Because I've never heard of that before.
Okay, no problem. We live in the land of duality, don't we?
Right, we do.
So if there's beings that are on the higher frequency, a higher spectrum, there are beings that vibrate on the lower spectrum. So they have all this knowledge and wisdom as well, right? They have all the divine knowings, but they use it to do bad. They use it to
do negative, dark things.
Exactly, to perpetuate that timeline of negativity. You know what I mean? Of selfishness, self-righteousness. You know what I mean? So it's like they are aware of their divinity. They're aware of their power, of their essence, their life force source energy, but they utilize it to capture other beings' souls. You know what I mean? They use it to manipulate other beings' will. They use that divine knowledge to manipulate and to cipher their energy for their own uprising.
So for people who have trouble tapping into more like esoterical type of forces and guidance, how do people tap into that like esoterical guidance and spiritual guidance? How do people receive that esoterical guidance?
Well, everything we have is within us. It's not just this spiritual woo thing where it's like, okay, well, I'm better than you. You not picked. You ain't chosen this and that. However, there are chosen beings, summoned beings that has a direct connection with certain like wisdom and information,
They were just born
sacred
with it.
knowledge, that they were tapped in with it because that's part of their purpose. You know what I mean? To share it, to help others. Because a lot of people who gain access with this information and knowledge, they use it for bad. They get power hungry. You know what I mean? And they manifest all of their desires and wants and needs, and then they become stingy and selfish. And then they forget that we are here to perpetuate unity consciousness. We are here. Earth is a realm of all dwelling beings. So this is our home, and we should all do our part to make sure that we're being fair, that we're all taking care of this earth realm together. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people a lot of people that tap into this esoteric knowledge, they use it for the greater bad instead of the greater good.
Okay, another thing I want to talk about. Hey, let's talk about karma. A lot of
Okay.
people want to know about karma. A lot of people, hey, what's bad karma? What's good karma? I want to hear your perspective on karma,
Okay.
and then I'll go a little bit on too.
Okay, no problem. And to add a little bit more about like how do you, because I just said kind of what it was, but not really how to tap into it with the esoteric knowledge and wisdom. But
receive it,
you tap into it by going back to your knowledge of self, going back to your core identity. Because like I said, we are wholesomely complete. We have all the components and mechanisms that we need already within us. So the closest way to accessing that and unlocking that key is to having knowledge of self and spend a lot of time in solitude, get to know your core frequency, and then the divine will summon certain people, certain circumstances, certain situations, certain books, certain stimuli that will activate the information that's already inside your DNA, the information that's already inside of your blood. You know what I mean? So, or you'll have like a aha moments where you'll be like, dang, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like inspiration just comes up, and you will be guided towards certain information that's necessary.
Yeah, like you ever get those spiritual moments where you're just like, oh my gosh, like I'm just on Earth, like I'm on this planet, like those just recalibrations, like oh my God, I'm really here.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, deja
All the
vu.
time.
I get those a lot, and I'm just like, I'm
All the
really
time.
on here, like
I be feeling like I'm an alien.
yeah, I'm like I'm really here, like, and I'd be like, dang, when it's over. I'm gonna be happy, but at the same time, I gotta enjoy everything because I know it's like this is a gift. Like
You chose to be here.
yeah, we design these bodies. We you know what I'm saying. This is a gift. So
How you
it's like-
gonna dread something that you chose to participate in?
Right.
You chose to be here.
You just don't remember.
Exactly. So come into that greater remembrance of who you
Right.
are, remembrance
Right.
of your true identity, your true core identity, and then it becomes fun, right? It becomes an opportunity to learn more. This is Earth School. We summoned ourselves to Earth School to get to be more
Right.
acquainted with our consciousness. We are consciousness observing consciousness.
Right.
So how you gonna get mad at your own consciousness for observing your consciousness?
It's like
you hate yourself.
It's like we're on a university.
Exactly.
You understand that a university is where you sign up and you learn. Universe.
Exactly.
We're in a universe, a bunch of planets where you go and you learn. So
Exactly.
you put the two and two together. So yeah, it's very.
We are here to learn all of these bodies of energies, what they do. You know what I mean? How it affects us, how we are to interact with them, interact with each other. We are all bodies of energy. You know what I mean? Planets,
right?
Venus, y'all. And y'all want to come to Venus? Welcome to the Temple of Venus, y'all.
Yeah, you say you're a Leo, right?
Well,
No,
sidereal, I'm a
sidereal.
Leo. I'm a Leo.
But you're really a Virgo.
But I'm a Virgo tropically. Well, I wouldn't say really, but in tropical astrology.
Yeah, you give me a lot of those Leo vibes though. Those just, the royalty, the queen. You know what I'm saying? Just just shining bright. Brimming with confidence. Like you just shine. So
yes, that's that confidence, y'all. Y'all tap into y'all confidence. Know thyself.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's that solar panel energy. That light force.
Yes.
So yeah. Keep going, and you're doing a lot of great things for the divine feminine, because the unfortunate thing is with the divine feminine, there's not too many divine feminine leaders out here. So you got that innovative creator side. You're creating something new. You're creating something new.
Yes.
Not a lot of creators out here who's doing something like you. So.
Yeah.
What was that other question I asked you previously?
You talked about karma.
Karma, yeah. So let's.
All right, so let's get into it, y'all. So karma is a recalibrator. It's a recalibrator system. It's a system. Karma is a system. Everything has to do with contracts. You agreeing to come here, right? To come here and interview me, that's a contract. Me choosing to message you, you know what I mean, while I was out here to do this podcast, that's a contract. Everything is a contract, you know what I mean? Whether it is verbally, energetically, everything starts energetically first, you know what I mean? So whatever we agree with, that's a contract. We are opening ourselves up to karmic cycles. Karma is a recalibration system. So it allows us to recalibrate from the learning cycles. So if we are pouring into the karmic cycle negativity, pessimism, low vibration, then that's what we're gonna get back. You know what I mean? It's like what we put out, that's gonna come back to us. So karma helps to really kind of like balance out things, So it's like, okay, if you're being an asshole, you're going. That is a cycle that you are creating momentum for in your life. You know what I mean? So if you are doing good deeds into the world and you're having a positive train of thought in your life, then you are sowing seeds for positivity in your life, for a positive cycle. You know what I mean? A high vibrational cycle. So karma deals with cycles and it recalibrates you. So it will reverberate to you what you doing, what you putting out, so you can have the opportunity to see what you doing, look at yourself, look at your energy, look at them coals that you pumping out, you putting out, so you can see your disposition and see how you're behaving. You know what I mean? How are you showing up? So then you can have the opportunity to recalibrate. So you can have the opportunity to shift your momentum then. So karma is a beautiful thing because it perpetuates who you are. It perpetuates your thought processing of how you're showing up in the world.
You're teaching me a lot. You're teaching.
Y'all get y'all notes.
You're teaching the viewers a lot. So
I love you guys. Truly.
Yeah.
I appreciate
What's your I got me a special surprise for y'all today. I got a sound bowl.
Oh wow.
It's a Tabi Anton.
Should hold it because
not one of the regular ones, but what's your feeling on sound bowls? How does it make you feel?
Ooh, y'all feel that? A recalibration.
The vibrations.
Yes, the tones are so important. It makes me feel, I don't know, to make noise on the table like she said. So, it makes me feel equanimous. It makes me feel at ease and peace, serene. It makes me feel like I can create anything in this world. You know what I mean? It just makes me feel back to my natural state of being. You know, so sound bowls are so important. I actually play sound bowls as well too. I do sound healing. So I do sound healing affirmations.
So what is this one good for? Because I don't know what it's good for. I have it. I had it for about 2 years, but I don't know what it's good for.
That's for the third eye chakra. Actually, it's a throat. It's a throat.
It's for the throat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is that gas thing.
Yeah, this is the throat chakra. So that makes sense that you have this one. It cleanses the energetic. How can I say? It's clearing our energetic center. So that's cleansing the tones. It's calibrating and cleansing your throat chakra center, your energetic center.
Right.
So this means that it's clearing any clutter, any blockages, you know what I mean? Any stagnation, it's clearing it out so you can be able to speak your truth clearly and confidently.
Yeah. A lot of people, I feel like their throat chakras are blocked.
Yeah.
They say the key to relationships is your throat chakra. That's the key.
You said yes.
The key to relationships, yeah.
I agree.
I asked Divine Feminine last year, I said, hey, what's the most important thing to like relationships? She was like, she a Scorpio, she was like, communication. She told me communication is like number one thing. Like if you don't got no communication, that relationship gonna be toxic.
It's true.
Because, it's all about not just telling the truth, but harmonizing the truth.
Yes.
You don't gotta tell your girl like, hey, I love you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just be gentle with it sometimes.
Yes.
Be balanced with it sometimes. Like, don't rub people the wrong way because it's not about what you say, it's about the tone.
It's about what you say and the tone and how you say it.
Right, both. It's about a balance.
That's what I learned because at first I grew up,
yeah.
And that's a saying. It says, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. However, it is about what you say.
You're right. You corrected
and
me
it's
on
about
that.
how you say it.
You're right because I can't.
What
say
you
the wrong,
saying?
I can't say the wrong thing to someone and say like, I hate you. You know what I'm saying?
Like you can't just. It's about what you say and how you say it. Because then if you just like, oh, you a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying it in a nice tone. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you're a bitch. You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, but what you call me? You know what I mean?
Right,
so it's
right.
It's about what you say and how you deliver it.
Yeah, I seen that on, not to even bring this up, but even Blueface, like, he was talking to his ex, Christian Rock, and he was calling her a bitch and all that. And, like, saying, like, you are, like, he talks to her like she's a piece of trash. And I'm like, yo, like, I ain't gonna lie, I can't do that, like, cause it's like, if people, like, no one can talk to me like that. So it's like, if someone talks to her like that, like, you can't treat
and that's a reflection of himself, though.
Right? You can't treat people the way you don't want to be treated.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like he be treating people like bad, like you gonna be treated bad.
But that's how they reflected each other, because he's housing those energies within himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she's housing the energies of not seeing her worth and her true worth and value. You know what I mean? In the culture, it shows like that's normal. You know what I mean? So the divine feminine energy affirms herself. You know what I mean?
Right.
She knows like, okay, I'm not going to allow certain energies to to devalue me, because I know my value, I know my worth, I know my disposition, I know my position, I know the life force energy that I bring into the equation. If you don't know those things, you're gonna show up and you're gonna want to settle. You're gonna show up and try to beg people to accept you, rather than you set the tone in the space, letting people know that I'm valuable. Why wouldn't you appreciate me? I have so much to offer to myself and into the in the presence, within my presence. You know what I mean? So in those type of toxic situations, it's very
and we also
toxic.
We also have to get your perspective, your universal perspective, when it comes to relationships and bonds and how to like really just grow in a relationship and how to heal a relationship, because right now that's what people really need. There's a huge gender war going on between God and woman. You got 29-year-old men acting like little 21-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But what do you feel like is the first step to healing that relationships?
Knowing thyself, affirming thyself,
affirmations,
investing in thyself, and the true awareness, your true core identity. That's everything's gonna always go back to that. That's the root. I do root work. You know what I mean? So that's the root. You have to know who you are so
When
you
you
can
said
know what you
roots-
bring into
When you say root work, like what's some examples of that?
root work. That's root. Like basically, if we have a tree, where is the fruit and the leaves coming from? It all starts from the root. If you can identify the root, you can be able to identify what fruit and what leaves is going to be coming from that root. You know what I mean? What branches, what leverages do you have depending on the roots? So we must get to know our roots, get to know our energetic roots, our core identity. And that allows us to be firm and stern, stand firm and stern on our own in our sovereignty. Right? In our energetic sovereignty. So we can be able to bring that into the equation and attract and magnetize our divine complements. Right? That also would be mature in the knowing of their true core identity and what they bring into the table, what they're sharing into the world. You know what I mean? That's gonna bring more confidence, and a lot of unhealthy relationships stems from a lot of insecurities.
Hey, y'all get y'all confidence right. You feel me? Get your confidence right. Hey, she about to start a new trend. Hey, I love that word. Confidence. I do not have no confidence. I have confidence.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Where do you get a lot of these terms from? You have a strong terminology. I don't know if you get it from the esoteric type of world, or you just like, where do you get these terms from?
It's all of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All of it. The divine.
Divinity.
Yes, divinity. Like the all provides. You know, so everything that we need is always within us. So information, certain terms and stuff like that comes to me in certain cycles, you know, of my life, and then where the collective is. So then, you know, we can create, because words create worlds. And that's why it's so important for us to, you know, to learn to not just speak English, you know what I mean? So I appreciate Sun Ra, you know, like everything that he was talking about as far as like the language and stuff like that, right? Like these ancient tones, English creates confusion because it has a lot of energetic charges in certain words, right? Meaning I can say I love you, a certain word, love, you know what I mean? And the word love, it's a dual word. So sometimes people can say that some people say, you know, love is all we need, and some people say, fuck love. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when
you got Trippie Redd got a whole song, F Love.
Yeah. Fuck your love, fuck it, I don't want none.
You see?
Yeah.
But his perception of fuck love, that means it's because it's a distorted perception of love. So that creates duality. But I shook.
And he's also like putting on his trauma.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
His pain,
the
distorted, right?
Exactly.
Right.
The pain, the trauma, the insecurities, the, you know what I mean, harsh experiences that comes from, that creates the distortion of awareness. You know what I mean? So that's why I appreciate, you know, I shook. I shook just it means what it means. You know what I mean? It's one tone. It means divine, unconditional love. And there's no misconception of, okay, my subjectivity. Even though all these words, whatever, we give meaning to these tones, right? But tones are so important because they create worlds of perception and perspective into our minds. It paints pictures. And when we can see it, we can perceive it, then we can summon it into this reality. Words creates worlds.
Words create words.
What you think creates how you feel. How you feel summons the circumstances and situations that you will now face because of those feelings that call you into action, to act on those feelings. These emotions, energies, emotions move you into a certain direction, and those are the circumstances and situations that we play out in our life.
Last topic that I must get, like I'm being called upon to bring this upon.
Yes,
So
you've been calling some good ones.
yeah, so how do women get into that divine energy? A lot of women are overly masculine. How do you women tap into that divine feminine energy, which is emotional security, all that emotional intimacy within themselves. And you probably know more than me, but how do women tap into the divine feminine energy?
A great question. I like to add that, the divine feminine energy is for the masculine and the feminine, right? We are androgynous beings. So that means that we are energetically fluid. We need each other. You know what I mean? We must tap into our masculine and our feminine qualities.
Right.
So I don't like to just talk about the feminine and not bring up the masculine. You know what I mean? Because me tapping into my feminine essence, quote unquote, it just means that I'm balancing my masculine and my feminine qualities. So that's what makes my divine feminine, a divine feminine and a divine masculine embodies both polarities.
Right, I agree.
So if you're just showing up as a unhealed masculine or an unhealed feminine, then you are overly dominant in one energy, in one section of thought, in one section of way of being.
So how would women bring about a balance when it comes to those aspects?
Know thyself. Come back to your true core identity. This means that you are taking time to pour into yourself. You are divine intelligence in motion. So the divine tells us exactly what we need to do for each and every person. So I can't really say a one size fits all cap for everybody, because each and every individual has individual needs, wants, and desires and purpose. You know what I mean? So the root, though, the core foundation is to get to know yourself. You get to know yourself, you have the divine template. You got the divine book open for you. Now your divine book is available to you in present, and you can be able to read your manuscripts, your Bible. You know what I mean? You read your internal Bible.
Right. Like
then nobody else can tell you who you are.
I was even saying when I spoke to Sunra, I was telling him, like, knowing yourself is so important.
Yes!
And people may be like, hey, like, how do you know yourself? Like, what do you mean? There's multiple ways to know yourself. You can look at your horoscope, that tells you about, your purpose. It tells you about what kind of energy you had in your past life. It tells you about your emotion. It tells you about how you act in relationships. It tells you about how you appear to the world. It tells you how people perceive you through your career. It tells you how you will be in intimate relationships and superficial relationships on the surface. You got numerology. That will basically tell you your soul urge, what your soul urges to do, your life path, what you're here to do. Like,
it describes your energies.
Right. There's so many ways you could literally, like, I like how you said that. I'm going to start using that word. You can look at your divine book and you can study yourself.
Yes.
Because if you can read your book, then you can wake up every day, read your divine book, and be like, okay, this is who I am, and remind yourself, this is my purpose, and no one else can tell me this is this and that.
And now you have education of thyself.
Right. Education of
You're
thyself.
educated of thyself now. You're in the school of education of thyself. And nobody else can manipulate you, manipulate your identity, tell you who you are, who you need to be. You know what I mean? Throw shade and throw shots at your esteem and manipulate you to move in a certain way. No one can do that to you now, because you know who you are. And you are stern and firm in that awareness. And you move in that right. And nobody else can be able to belittle me or put me down. If I choose to act out on that, that's because I'm choosing to agree to the lies, to the illusion. So it's so important for us to know ourselves more than anybody else knows us. And it was another point that I was gonna make. You said something about knowledge of self. Dang, I forgot what it is.
I spoke on astrology, numerology.
Okay, yes. Oh, thanks. You brought me back. So another way to have knowledge of self, too, I actually did a meditation retreat, and it was called Vipassana. So I did Vipassana. And I like to look at the components of what these certain activities or, like these certain states of being, like these certain, like, activities creates a space for our awareness to surge, to resurge and come up, right? So Vipassana it was a 10-day meditation retreat that I did, and on a 10-day meditation retreat, we had to meditate for like 14 hours a day, all day.
All day?
We couldn't talk to nobody. We couldn't make eye contact. I couldn't look at you. No, it's separated,
So it
segregated.
was like on some like monk stuff.
Pretty much.
How did that transform you?
That transformed me immensely because it allowed me to get acquainted with my core energetics, right? I was able to experience my cells, you know what I mean? Feel myself at a subatomic level. So then that created that established the relationship, my awareness, the relationship of the awareness of the relationship of my energy, my core energy. So now I'm relating to the world as energy instead of, a person. So I don't connect with people or, beings based off of what I see. I connect with you based off of the energy exchange. Do I like your energy? Do I want to exchange energy with you? You know what I mean? Because that's having sex. People think that having sex is only physical, and you can physically penetrate and physically get penetrated. But you can get penetrated with energy. People, that's why a lot of people like to listen to sermons or go to church and stuff like that, because the surge of energy, right? The information, the words that's creating worlds in their perceptions is penetrating their psyche, penetrating their souls. That's why our brains, we remember, our long-term memory is created from the emotions that stick inside of us. You know what I mean? Because it's like the brain can only hold so much information. So when our emotions are charged up, we remember those long-term. And so
I like how you brought that up about the energy exchange, because you're right. Like, before we even sleep with someone, we should definitely be like, hey, dang, energy is a real thing. If I really, sleep with them, I'm going to actually get some of their energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's a contract.
Right.
Like I said, everything is a contract. So we overlook the aspect because we're overly focused in the physical realm. We're not integrating our fullness, our full being. Right? Wholesomely living. So we got to recognize that before we even have sex with somebody else or exchange energy with somebody else, we already made the decision. We already said, okay, yes, am I going to have sex with him or not? Yes, I want to do it. It's like
subconsciously, you already know what happened.
You already made the decision before you did it. Before you're going to do it. You know what I mean? You like, crazy? Yeah? You like, yeah or nah? We doing this? We ain't doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's saying yes, contract, no, no contract.
That's why some things just ain't meant to happen, and some things are meant to happen.
Yeah.
It's like our life is literally written on.
And you know why it's meant to happen or not meant to happen? Because it's meant to give us that awareness that we need from these exchanges. Every interaction that we come in contact with, we are exchanging awarenesses. We are adding to each other's awareness. Me coming into contact with you, there's certain things that you're bringing into my awareness now. I'm bringing certain things into your awareness now. Now, when we leave, we will have a greater awareness. That's each and every relationship that comes into your life. They are to offer awareness. So give thanks for any relationship that comes into your life. Whether it's desirable or undesirable, give thanks. Because now you are more aware. Now you're coming to a greater awareness of yourself. And that's a blessing. You know what I mean? It's a blessing or a lesson. And so it's so important for us to just be in gratitude for each and every connection, each and every relationship that comes into our life, because it grants us the opportunity to have a greater awareness of ourselves, which we're here to learn about. So we're in purpose.
You taught me like, I ain't gonna lie, you might be my new teacher. I ain't gonna lie, like,
I know.
You feel me? But
if you guys want to tap in, I hold classes, personals, one-on-ones, you know what I mean, and groups. I do.
Yeah, I may be the first one in front of the class.
I should.
I need a new teacher. I've been praying for one. Like, but I appreciate you so much, Venus Sublime. Your intellect is like beyond what most people can even fathom, and you just have like this imperative force about you. You know, a really strong force about you. You got a really strong queen Godfidence in you. Keep going. And, you know, I'm definitely going to have you back on.
Yes.
You know, want to see episode 2 soon. Everyone
Hey,
watching.
y'all
You
stay
guys do
tuned.
want to see episode 2, please like this video, share this video, and let people know,
Yes.
you know, who's here. You know what I'm saying? Also,
Yes.
I debuted my face about my second or third episode, so make sure you guys go ahead and leave a big thumbs up. But any last
Yes,
words?
look at this God King in the flesh. Y'all getting blessed. So much love. And we getting blessed each and every time that you guys tune in and share this energy exchange. We're here to be here and learn and thrive together. So thank you so much for showing up for yourselves today. Because when you show up for yourself, you inspire others to continue to show up too. So thank you so much for showing up for yourselves today. Give thanks for you.